Shalom, fam. It's your moray, Jaden Israel. Welcome to Real Talk Tuesday. Live stream is going up on a Tuesday. Hey, what it do? What's good, family? Let us know that you are here. Go right ahead and pull up in the chat and say shalom, peace, hi, something. Say something, family. Do not be a stranger. Do not be shy. Tonight, I am curious to hear your position on this topic. What the topic is EBT biblical? Open panel debate. I'm going to open up the panel here real shortly, and I would like to hear your perspective. Is EBT, SNAP, food stamps, whatever you want to call it, is that biblical? But before we get into it, family, let me make sure everything is all right. Let me go off screen real quick. I'm here, family. I don't know what happened to my avatar. It disappeared on me. All right, family. Everything is looking all right. I'm looking at YouTube Studio. It says excellent condition. So I'm taking YouTube Studio's word for it. All right, family. So before we get started, let me go ahead and share the announcements. You got to check out the announcements, family. You got to check out my favorite part of church, the announcements. I know I got a witness. I can't be the only one. All right, family. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started with tonight's live stream. Is EBT biblical? Open panel. On screen is the most recent video that I dropped. This video right here is entitled Polygyny in America Ain't Reality. It's a fantasy. You know that's right. And if you disagree with me, let me know why. Now, what you want to do is go below this video and any video of mine. Go below this video that you're watching right now. Go below it, family. And this is what you want to do. You want to open up where it says more. Right here, the description. As you can see, you see those free goodies? Those free goodies could be yours. That's right. Your favorite four-letter F word. All yours. Right here. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and English. Video tutorial in free PDF download. 30 words in Paleo Hebrew, Biblical Hebrew, and English. Video tutorial in free PDF download. Once again, the Lord's Prayer, Yahusha's Prayer in Hebrew and English. 30 words in Paleo Hebrew, Biblical Hebrew, and English. Impress your family and friends with your Hebrew skills. The 10 Commandments in Hebrew and English. Video, PDF. The Shema prayer in Hebrew and English. Video, PDF. And the priestly blessing in Hebrew and English. The Benediction. You guessed it. Video and PDF. I created these video tutorials and these PDFs. They are worth money. They are worth EBT. See what I did there? Best believe it. So go ahead and download these free goodies while they're free. Want to start learning Hebrew? I got you, family. Go ahead and click on these courses, or you can go to all Hebrew courses right here. Click on the link. We have courses for children and adults. Children, you can learn alongside your parents. As a former Sunday school teacher and licensed minister in Christianity, it is my privilege to teach biblical Hebrew. Need Hebrew Israelite apparel? You need this cool shirt that you see me rocking and more? We got you. Go ahead and get hats, beanies, do-rags, t-shirts, long sleeves, shirts, sweaters, sweatpants, hoodies, sandals, clothing for women, men, and children, clothing for regular days and feast days. Let me show you how you can get it. Shalom, shalom. So double T, the Hebrew. That's my brother right there. And I'm curious to hear your position on tonight's topic. Is EBT biblical? Open panel debate. I'm hoping it goes there. I'm hoping we have a debate, a fun debate, that is. I like to hear our perspectives on this topic. Now, go ahead and click on Kavod right here, etsy.com/shop/Kavod. Let me go ahead and show off this super cool, awesome Israelite apparel brand. Check this out, family. I could talk about it, but I'd rather show about it. Ooh, Kavod, styled in legacy. Silica family. Shalom. Shalom. Unlock 20% off your order. Now, the word kavod means honor, splendor, and glory. Honor, splendor, glory. 20% off your order. For example, both these beautiful t-shirts that you see right here, these beautiful couple t-shirts, both those shirts together can be 20% off. Let me show you how. This is a typo right here. This should be 5.0. Okay, it's not a typo. It's because the customer is not always right. I repeat, the customer is not always right. That should be 5 stars. Okay, let me go ahead and go down before I get triggered. There's a plethora of content, family. Feel free to check this out. 3 people have this in their cart. Hanukkah's coming up. 3 people have this in their cart. Use this link right here. Use this link to get 20% off your order while it's still valid. All right, let's go back to the announcements. If you want exclusive content, you want to laugh at my mistakes at your expense and mine, feel free to do so by subscribing to the Patreon. Also, we have advanced biblical teachings and biblical tools, and it's going to get better and better. If you'd like to support the ministry, you can do so, family, through Cash App, PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or the YouTube Super Chat. Shout out to YouTube. We are monetized, family. All right. And let me go ahead and scroll off screen. Let me go ahead and show you guys my schedule and where you guys can reach me. And we're about to get started with tonight's topic. Is EBT biblical? Open panel debate. I'm hoping we go there. I'm willing to go there. Let's go there. Okay. Let me get this real quick right here, family. You got to check this out. Okay, at the top of the screen, as you can see right here, go ahead and click on more. Schedule, the Shabbat word. Shabbat service, which includes prayer, praise music, and preaching. Friday nights, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Motivation Monday, Mondays at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. Real Talk Tuesday, open panel live streams Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. And when I'm available, I go live on Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. And Thursdays, I like to release a short or a video. Also, you can reach me at IG, Facebook, Meta, Jade and Jazz. That's my wife and I's channel. We speak about Black love, trending topics, celebrity news. It's a secular show because we're not bumbleclats. We're balanced. You know that's right. And if you want to reach me on my email, here's my email. But you gotta confirm that you are a human because there's AI swarming around YouTube. I don't know if everybody watching this channel right now is a human being, but go ahead and verify that you are a human right here, family. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being patient with the announcements, but I told you they're worth it. I told you so. It's EBT biblical, open panel debate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Not share my screen. I'm going to go ahead and put the link out there for anybody who would like to join the panel. It's up to you. You don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and show my position, but feel free to join the panel. And that way we can have a dialogue. We can go back and forth. Join the panel here. Normally, I don't open up the panel this early, but I'm looking out. I'm looking out. Join the panel here if you want. If you want, family, you want to go ahead and talk about it. Now, let me go ahead and share my position. Is EBT biblical? Open panel. First off, let me go ahead and get a definition of EBT. Now, I don't want to assume that everybody knows what EBT is. If you don't know what EBT is, you might be living under a rock. I'm not saying that you are, but that's caveman-like behavior. A lot of us do know what EBT is, but it's okay. I got you. I'm just having fun with you. I'm not picking on you. I don't assume, family, because when we assume, we make an ass out of you and me. When I assume, I make an ass out of you and me. So I'm not going to go ahead and assume. I was just throwing a little joke. It's all good. Let me go ahead and get a definition. I'm getting one offline. I had one, but for whatever reason, the website is not working. So I'm going to get one from, I'm going to try this again and see if it works. This is from fns.usda.gov. If it doesn't work, then I'll just try another link. It's just spinning and spinning and spinning. So it looks like it's not going to work. Let me go ahead and try another link. Yeah, see, that's not working. Okay, that's all good. Let me go ahead and get another one. And we appreciate it, family. Go ahead and subscribe, like the video. It costs you nothing to hit the like button. It's free. Feel free to hit the like button, family. We appreciate it. I want to get one from a government website. I mean, I could go to Wikipedia. I could go to this California. I live in California. Because my main link that I wanted to put on screen, it's not working. So I'll just go ahead and use this one. Okay, this is California, but this gives us a definition. Let's go. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Thank you for being patient with me, family. We're going to get some clarity around here. This is for everybody that's living under a rock. It's okay. I used to live under a rock next to Esau. We was in the same neighborhood. Okay. Quote unquote Esau, that is. All right. Let's go, family. Let me go ahead and share my screen. This right here is from, what is from? cdss.ca.gov. Electronic Benefits Transfer, EBT. What is EBT? Hopefully you guys can see. Okay, cool. My big head ain't in the way. Let's go. Let me blow this up a little bit more. Let's go, like right here. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. Let me go one more. I want y'all to see this. Whoa. That's good. That's good. All right, let's get it. EBT. What is EBT? Electronic Benefits Transfer. EBT is the benefit delivery system that allows CalFresh, CalWorks, and other program recipients to use a card, much like a debit card, to access their food and cash benefits. Hebrew highlighter. Additionally, EBT cardholders are able to use their benefit cards for online purchasing at Safeway, Amazon, Walmart, and more. For additional information regarding online purchasing, please visit the EBT online webpage. I'll go ahead and read one more paragraph. I don't know if it's necessary, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because I know how to be unnecessary. EBT in California is run by the California Department of Social Services, CDSS, with technical support through the Office of Technology and Solutions Integration, OTSI. CDSS contracts will provide vendors to run the technical operations of the program. Each county determines benefit eligibility for applicants. Once determined, the county sends the eligibility information to the state EBT vendor, where it is processed and ultimately dispersed to recipients EBT accounts. Blase, 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 blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is the whole main point. This is it right here, family. This is it. Let me highlight it. Highlight it again. EBT is the benefit delivery system that allows CalFresh, CalWorks, and other program recipients to use a card, much like a debit card, to access their food and cash benefits. Now we gain clarity. We don't assume anything around here. EBT allows for food and cash benefits. If you're on EBT, let me know. Raise your hand if you're on EBT. If you're on EBT, raise your hand. Say, give me a 1 in the chat. If you're on EBT, give me a 1 in the chat. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just having fun with you. But right now, it's a tough time for many who need the EBT benefits, because right now there's a government shutdown. The government has a EBT shutdown. Let me go ahead and read something on that EBT shutdown. That way we get some understanding around here. It may vary in your state. I'm going to go ahead and get some information. They just reopened it. I'm going to go ahead and confirm that, because I'm reading this report right here. There was no current EBT system technical shutdown or outrage reported today, November 11th, according to the system status trackers. Okay, let me see. Let me just get an update. Let me get the update that I had earlier on EBT. EBT update. All right, family. EBT update. As you can tell, I'm not on EBT. I'm not flexing. I'm not showing off. I'm not being arrogant, but I'm not on EBT. So I got to go ahead and just double check and see the facts on this. It says New Jersey residents who rely on SNAP can use their EBT cards. Let's see, EBT update in the USA. EBT shutdown nationwide. This is from AI overview, just to make it quick. Let me go ahead and highlight the screen. Yeah, I'm double checking double T. I'm double checking because I did hear something like that they ended the government shutdown, but I'm double checking because it may be different by the state. As we read that New Jersey residents, they can use their EBT. They can use their EBT card, but it says EBT shutdown nationwide. The recent government shutdown has led to a nationwide EBT shutdown, impacting millions of Americans. SNAP benefits, which are provided through EBT cards, have been paused, leaving recipients without access to food assistance. States have begun taking steps to provide temporary food assistance, and some have issued full benefits for November. However, the situation remains uncertain, with legal battles ongoing and no definitive resolution in sight. Let me go ahead and go off screen. That was from Good Morning America. Let's see. See if we get another update. Okay, here we go. Another one. Here's another AI overview. Just for the sake of time, family. It's just a broad brush, okay? Because I'm very technical and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole of being a dork, family. Because I am a dork, but I don't want to be extremely technical and find the right article and doing all that. I'm just getting a broad brush. Feel free to edify. Feel free to add edification to this. As of November 1st, 2025, SNAP benefits have been suspended due to the ongoing government shutdown, affecting approximately 42 million Americans. Current status of SNAP benefits. Suspension of benefits. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, has confirmed that no SNAP benefits will be issued starting November 1st, 2025. Let me read that again. The USDA has confirmed that no SNAP benefits will be issued starting November 1st, 2025, due to the federal government shutdown. All right. Just making sure everybody can see that. Due to the federal government shutdown, this decision impacts millions of low-income households who rely on these benefits for food assistance. And that comes from two articles from CBS News and USA Today. Use of existing funds. Recipients can still use any remaining balance on their electric benefits transfer, EBT, their EBT cards from previous months. Okay, that's good. These funds will roll over into November, allowing beneficiaries to purchase food until the balance is depleted. So spend wisely. It says two articles from go.com and georgia.gov. Temporary assistance and future payments. State assistance. Some states are stepping in to provide temporary food assistance to local SNAP recipients during the funding freeze. Individuals are encouraged to check their state's resources for available support. So check out your state, family, because it may vary. That's what it sounds like. That's from go.com. And retroactive payments. There is uncertainty regarding whether missed SNAP payments will be issued retroactively once the government reopens. Experts suggest that recipients may receive their delayed benefits once federal funding resumes, as federal rules stipulate that beneficiaries are entitled to their benefits despite disruptions. Conclusion: the situation remains fluid, and SNAP recipients are advised to monitor updates from the USDA and their state agencies regarding the resumption of benefits and any available assistance during this period. For more information, individuals can check their EBT balances and local resources to help navigate this challenging time. All righty, family. We'll go ahead and land there. Feel free to go ahead and check out some more, but that's just a broad brush. That is a quick summary. We got a definition. For those who've been living under a rock who don't know what EBT is, we got a definition. It's all good. I'm not judging you. I used to live under a rock. Figuratively, that is. Shalom, shalom to Elder Byron Wilder. Shalom to Zakane Byron Wheeler. Thank you for joining us tonight. Shalom, shalom to 12TJC. I'm curious, family, to hear your opinion if you have one on here. If you have an opinion, is EBT biblical? Open panel debate. If it turns into that, I'm willing to go there. I want the smoke. Disrespectfully, I want the smoke. All right, family. Y'all want to hear my position? Do y'all care? Do y'all care what I think about EBT? Well, I don't care if you do. I'm going to go ahead and give my opinion. All right, family. So we got a definition on what EBT is. We got the current status of EBT. Or those from the UK, they would say status. I'd rather say status. Status. Status sounds so much cooler. Americans, we're so smart. Americans, our education compared to other countries, I ain't gonna lie, we're pretty stupid. We're stupid, family. We're collectively stupid compared to other countries. All right, where was I? Okay, I'm trying to see here. I'm trying to find my scriptures that I got locked and loaded for tonight. All right, family, is EBT biblical? All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. We're going to open up some scriptures. We're going to go to the scripts. We're going to go to Blue Letter Bible. Let's go to this verse right here. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up on screen. Let's go. Oh, I ain't got my screen shared. My bad, family. I thought I had it shared. Here we go. This is from Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 28 and 29. And Zakane Byron, I got you, Zakane. I actually put the link in the chat. I would like you to join the link when you're ready. Let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and get my verses out, and then I'll go ahead and open up the panel. Even though I sent the link, I'm gonna go ahead and just get my verses, and then whoever likes to come on the panel, feel free to come on the panel. I got some scriptures. I'm gonna go ahead and run through them real quick because I would like a back and forth. If anybody would like to go back and forth with me, I think we can have a conversation. If it turns into a fun debate, a fun spar, I'm willing to do that. But I know I sent the link already, but just hold on. If you want to get on the panel, don't come on until I say so. Okay, let's go. Deuteronomy 14, verse 28 and 29. The word of God says, at the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thine increase the same year, and shall lay it up within thy gates. And the Levite, because he hath no part nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied. That's Jehovah, thy Elohim, may bless thee in all the work of thine hand, which thou doest. It says fatherless. Other translations say orphans. I like the interpretation of orphans better. Just my perspective. I think that orphans is a better thought for thought translation. But fatherless, we can rock with fatherless as well. Fatherless or orphans and or family. Status. Even though status sounds better. And to me, orphans sounds more accurate. But there we have those two verses. Now, Israel had mandatory community level welfare. What you just say, Jayden? That's right. I said the W word. Welfare. That's right. Let me go ahead and say that again. Israel had mandatory community level welfare. It was funded and it was structured exactly like EBT. The concept of providing food for those who need it. Remember, EBT is set up for those who need food and also cash assistance. EBT, SNAP, if we want to go old school, food stamps, in my opinion, is a biblical principle. I repeat, EBT, SNAP, food stamps is a biblical principle. Keyword is principle. We know our ancestors did not have EBT back in the day. We know they didn't have food stamps back in the day. But from my understanding, the tithe that was mandatory every 3 years, at the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth all the tithe. A tithe is a tenth of thine increase the same year, and shall lay it up within thy gates. And the Levites, because he hath no part, no inheritance with thee, and the stranger, and the fatherless or orphan, and the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied. That Yehovah Elohim, thy Elohim, may bless thee in all the work of thine hand, which thou doest. And of all thy increase includes food. Remember, our ancestors tithe food. They tithe with food. Even though we can't tithe today, family, big screen. Pastor Pochop is a liar. He's lying his ass off. We cannot tithe today. We don't have a standing temple. I repeat, we do not have a standing temple. We do not have an active and standing Levitical priesthood. We cannot tithe today. However, we can take that same concept of looking out for those who need it. We could take that same concept of tithing every 3 years of all your increase, all that you got, which includes food, livestock, fruit, blase. You tithe food stuff. You tithe food items. And you, every 3 years, you tithe and you give it to those who need it. That is an EBT concept. The concept of EBT is a biblical concept, if you ask me. Even though we can't tithe today, we can still draw out the principle and we can apply charity today. So that's my position on that, family. But don't be boo-boo the fool. Don't listen to Pastor Hot Dog Neck. Tithing is done away with. I find it crazy that he say the law is done away with, but tithing ain't done away with. That don't make any kind of sense. It do for him. It makes a lot of sense for him. Because for him, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, in the words of DJ Quick. I'm an Israelite and I'm still black. Let's go. Let me go ahead and pull up my next scripture. The first scripture was Deuteronomy 14, 28 through 29. The third year tithe, which is a biblical welfare system from my perspective. Now, let's go to scripture number 2. This is from Leviticus 19, verses 9 and 10. Hallelujah. And when ye reap the harvest of the land. Oh, hold on. I forgot to say this, family. I forgot to say this. And if you're going to tithe to Pastor Pochop, right? If you're going to tithe to his fat ass, tithe food items. Just walk right up to the center of the aisle and put in there some grapes. Put in there some apples. I want to see how long. Hold on. I want to see how quickly you're going to get kicked out of the church for doing something like that. But if you're going to tithe, you're going to tithe fruit items. You're going to tithe oranges. You're going to tithe apples. Blase. I eat a lot of fruit, family. You will tithe apple pears. These are like Hebrew Israelites. Look, it's like Hebrew Israelite apple pears. They got a kufi on. Okay. Okay, I'll stop being silly. No, I can't stop being silly. That's impossible. All right, let's get to the scriptures. But if you're going to tithe, family, if you're going to tithe, technically you'll tithe food items. All right. And when ye reap the harvest of the land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest, and thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of the vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. Hebrew highlighter. For those who believe EBT is not biblical, look at here. It says in the Hebrew highlighter, thou shalt leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. Leviticus chapter 19, verses 9 and 10 speaks about gleaning. The poor, the stranger can glean from the vineyard. They can glean from the field. So if you own a vineyard, if you own a field, don't be selfish. Leave some behind. Don't take them all. Don't take all the harvest, as it says. Leave the corners alone. And don't gather every grape. Look out for the poor. Food was required by Elohim to be left behind so the poor could eat freely and with dignity. EBT is a biblical concept. Leviticus 19, verses 9 and 10 are the laws of gleaning, the gleaning laws, which is guaranteed food access. The principle, family, it's the principle of leaving food behind for the poor. It's a biblical concept. And EBT is set up so that those who need it, they can use it, they can have it. As citizens, as taxpayers, that's right. As taxpayers, as citizens, it is our biblical duty to leave food behind for the poor. To leave food behind for the poor and the stranger. EBT is a biblical concept. For those who own something, for those who own a vineyard, for those who own property, a house, for those who are well off, for those who have their needs met, we are required to leave food behind for those who need it. It's the principle. It's the principle. Now, let's go ahead and get to the third verse. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 15, verses 7 and 8. But let me know if you disagree with me, family. Let me know. This is not the first time I've said something that you don't agree with. You know me by now. I like to say things that you don't hear on the street corners. I like to say things that are not cliche Hebrew Israelite talking points. I think for myself. And I encourage us to do the same, family. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen. Once again, let's go. Deuteronomy 15, verses 7 and 8. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates of thy land, which Jehovah thy God giveth thee, Thou shalt not harden thy heart, nor shut thy hand from thy poor brother, but thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wanteth. Let's go ahead and get another translation. We're going to go outside the KJV. Let's go to the ESV. But you shall open your hand to him and lend him sufficient for his need. Key word is need. For his need, family. Whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. Just highlight the whole verse. This is for all the selfish Hebrew Israelites, for all the selfish Christians, for all the selfish people in general. Let's go NLT. Instead, be generous and lend them whatever they need. NIV, rather, be open-handed and freely lend them whatever they need. Elohim commands Israel to make sure the poor have what they need. I'm looking at the principle, family, the principle of providing for those who need it, those who are in desperate need. Hallelujah. Also like to touch up on Leviticus 19, 9, 10. And when ye reap the harvest of thy field. Let me go ahead and go back. I do want to point out this right here. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. And thou shalt glean the vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of the vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. Question. Can we go to a vineyard and to a field? I repeat, can we go to a vineyard and a field today and glean? In America, can we apply this scriptures? Can we apply verse 9 and 10? I'm asking, fam. Can we go to somebody's vineyard in America and pick their grapes? Can we go to somebody's field and pick from their crops? Today in America, that's called trespassing. It's trespassing. Fam, I live in the Central Valley. I live in Stockton, unfortunately. Excuse me, Stockton. Because once you live here, you get stuck. And there's no escape. There's no escape. Stockton. Okay, I'll give Stockton this much. I give credit here. A lot of food is grown in the Central Valley. And one of the places where food is grown is in Stockton. Stockton is agricultural. It's a mid-major city, but it's an agricultural city at the same time. It's like agricultural slash mid-major city, mid-major, and we have crime like a big city, and we have no recreation. There's nothing to see here, literally. But if I was to go on 8 Mile Road, which is a street, it's actually the border between Stockton and Lodi. And check it, Lodi grows a lot of grapes. And Lodi is known for its grapes. That's the only thing it's really known for, is its grapes. Without Lodi, without grapes in Lodi, I mean, it'd just be somebody's backyard. But check it. 8 Mile Road is the border between Stockton and Lodi. Lodi is known for growing grapes. It's known for wine. They have the Grape Festival. They have a lot of wine tasting places throughout Lodi. So check it. If I was to go down 8 Mile Road right now, if I was to drive my car down 8 Mile Road, and if I was to park my car on the side and go to somebody's vineyard or go to somebody's field and start gleaning from their field or from their vineyard, I will be arrested. That's trespassing. So we cannot apply this scripture verbatim in America. We can't apply this. Well, at least I can't apply it. I don't know about you or where you live, family. But over here in California, where I stay, you can't just go up into somebody's property and start picking from the corners of the field. You will get arrested. However, the principle of EBT, of leaving food behind for those who are poor and for those who are strangers, that's a biblical principle. That is a principle that derives from Leviticus 19, verse 9 and 10. What's the point? The whole point of this is to leave food behind for those who need it. Did you know that our great Emma, Ruth, she gleaned from the field? Do you know that our great teacher, our great brother, Yahusha HaMashiach, gleaned? That's right. Yahusha and his disciples gleaned. Gleaning from the field is set up for those who need it, for those who ain't got it like that. And EBT is set up for those who ain't got it like that. Now, Deuteronomy 15, 7 and 8, it does say lend. Let me go ahead and go back. The key word is lend. But thou shalt open thy hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him. It says lend. Lend. So I will keep it all the way 100. At least I'll try to, family. It does say lend. And with EBT, for the most part, for the vast most part, you don't pay back the funds, the benefits that you receive. You don't have to pay them back. You only pay them back if you got caught lying. And I know some people who got caught lying now. Don't be lying, because they will catch you. The key word is lend. So I will say that. But the principle of providing to those who need it is a biblical principle, and it aligns with EBT. EBT is set up for those who need it. And depending on your status, your status, you might have to pay back some of that EBT. You might have to pay back some of those cash benefits. You may have to now. I don't know. I'm not on EBT, family. And I say this with all humility and with all love. I'm definitely no better than nobody. I'm not going to walk around here thinking I'm all that because I'm not on EBT. A lot of us grew up on EBT. A lot of us grew up on food stamps, the old school food stamps. A lot of us grew up on Section 8. A lot of us grew up in the projects. Family, my family is originally from the projects. My family is from Fillmore. If you know about Fillmore, you know what it is. Fillmore is a historical Black neighborhood in San Francisco. It was nicknamed the Harlem of the West. Fillmore is known for some good reasons and some bad reasons. We're known for some bad things now. But to keep it a buck with y'all, we have to remember where we came from. We have to know. We have to know where we came from, and we should not forget and where we came, family. And my family originally is from Filmo, from the projects, family. And for those who are on EBT and those who need it, who are on EBT, my heart goes out to those who need it, because that's what it's set up for. It's set up for the poor. It's set up for the orphans. It's set up for the widows. It's set up for the needy. It's set up for those who are disabled. All right. Let's see where I'm going to go now. I may just open up the panel. There's some other scriptures. I'll just go ahead. I'll run through them real quick. Here's some bonus scriptures. Let's go to Leviticus 25:35. Let me go ahead and share my screen, family. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen into decay, and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. This is of poor countrymen, the context. This is a concept that I see in EBT. Let's get another translation. This English is tricky. It's too fancy for me. Right here, EBT. If your brother becomes poor and cannot maintain himself with you, you shall support him as though he were a stranger and a sojourner, and he shall live with you. Hallelujah. We can apply the principle. The principle of EBT, I see a connection. There's a connection, from my opinion. Deuteronomy 24:19 and 21. Let's go. When thou cuttest down thine harvest in thy field, and hast forgot a sheaf in the field, thou shalt not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow, that Jehovah thy Elohim may bless thee in all the work of thine hands. When thou beatest thine olive tree, thou shalt not go over the boughs again. It shall be for the stranger, and for the orphans, and for the widow. When you gather the grapes of the vineyard, thou shalt not glean it afterward. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore, I command thee to do this thing. Remember where we come from. Remember that our ancestors were in bondage in Mitzrayim. Remember that our ancestors were in bondage in Egypt. So let's not play stupid. Let's be about that charity. Let's look after the homeborn and the stranger. Let's look after the poor, whether they're an Israelite or a Gentile. Let's look after our people. Let's look after the Israelite and the stranger. These are Torah commandments, family. This is from Torah. This is from the law. This is from the Chumash, from the law. Let's go ahead and get a proverb. This is not the law, but we're going to go ahead and look into the Proverbs. We're going to check out the Ketuvim, the writings. Let's go to Proverbs 19:17. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto Jehovah, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. All praises, all glory. Let's go ahead and get another translation. NLT, which is thought for thought, not to be confused with a thought for thought. Stay away from the thought for thought. If you help the poor, if you help the poor, if you help the poor, if you help those who are on EBT, you are lending to Jehovah, and he will repay you. If you help the poor, if you help those who are on EBT who really need it, You are lending to Yahuwah, and he will repay you. All right. So those are the scriptures I like to share. The biblical pattern is consistent. Support the poor, provide food, protect the vulnerable. Conclusion. EBT is not against Torah. EBT aligns with the biblical welfare principles Elohim gave Yisrael. Providing food access to the poor is commanded, expected, and righteous. Modern systems like EBT simply continue what Torah already established. EBT is biblical. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, family. So for those who would like to come on the panel, Elder Byron, if you'd like to come on, we spoke last night. I spoke last night to Elder Byron. If you'd like to come on, you can come on the panel. Thank you, 12T. And check it out, 12T. We don't even have to agree, Ak. We don't have to agree at all. But like, I had to talk about this. Now, I understand. I'm not talking about those who are on EBT and they know they don't need it. They know they lying, though. They know they getting paper. They know they got money. They know that they're able, but they're taking money from, they're taking EBT benefits. I'm not talking about that. No, that's getting over. I'm not speaking about that. I'm talking about those who need it, those who are in need, those who need the EBT. It's a biblical principle. And check it. I'm just saying the principle is from the scriptures. It's the way how we apply it today, because remember, we can't apply the laws of gleaning that are in the Torah in America. Your black ass will get arrested. Try that here in America. Try that here in Stockton. Your black ass gonna get arrested. They're gonna look at you, Israelite, Muslim, whatever you are, your black ass going to jail. So don't try that. However, we can get around that with technology. We can get around that with the modern system of EBT. There's nothing to see here. And this is what triggered me. I'm going to show y'all what triggered me, fam. This is what triggered me right here. I'm going to go. This was from my wife and I's channel, which is Perfect Stockton English. This is what triggered me. This is what influenced me. Because my wife and I, we spoke about EBT. We spoke about EBT on the impact it can have on our community, the black community. There's some good things that can come out of it. There's some negative things that can come out of it. We had a conversation about it, and we kept it a buck. We was objective like we always are, and entertaining. You know we entertaining. We never boosty. But check it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I want to show you guys what triggered me. By the way, let me go ahead and show our channel. Yes, 12T. Yeah. I'm not talking about the people who are stealing from the system. I'm not talking about those people. Because, you're always going to have that. You're always going to have thieves. But I'm talking about just the idea of providing food for those who need it. And the way we can do it here in America in the modern way is by having EBT. Because we can't go and glean on somebody's field. You got to remember, America doesn't keep Torah. I repeat, America does not keep Torah. However, many of the principles, many of the laws from America actually derive from Torah. Ah, that's true. Without Torah, there is no America. America does have some of its laws that come from the Torah, and it has some of its principles that come from the Torah. And I'm just looking at it objectively. I'm looking at it with a fair lens. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen. This is what triggered me, family. This is what got on my last nerve right here. Okay, it didn't get on my last nerve, but it intrigued me to talk about this. So let me go ahead. Let's go to, we talked about it. This was on our live. You guys can see that, right? Let me go ahead and hide my screen. Okay. Right here, family. Jade and Jazz, subscribe. It's my wife and I's channel. Right here. No more EBT. No more EBT? When the EBT ends, will the black family begin? Question mark. And we gave our analysis. Check out this video. Now, this is what got on my last nerve. Okay, it didn't get my last nerve, but it got me going. It gave me motivation right here. This short right here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and play it. I'm going to go ahead and play this short. Don't see some. Supposed to be selling them joints. I'm highlighting that. I know what you mean. I'm from Stockton. I see it. I'm not snitching, but I see it. I've been offered. Somebody's offered to sell me some EBT, but I plead the fifth. These are just jokes written by my wife. And double C the Hebrew. Double C the Hebrew, man. Hey, you my intellectual twin. Hey, you my twin, intellectually speaking. we agree on so much. It's crazy. Shout out to Divine Prospect. Okay, I'm gonna play this video, family. I wasn't even going to, but I'm in a good mood, so let's go. Anybody that's totally against welfare. Anybody that's totally against welfare, that is totally against EBT, I think they are totally against the Bible, because that concept comes from the Bible. Charity comes from the Bible.
That's right.
And I know Republicans like to say, less government. But to a certain degree, we need the government. To a certain degree, every nation needs the government at some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to the nation of Israel in the Bible, even the sites, Tel Arad, it was a temple in Tel Arad in the southern part of Israel. They discovered that there were food pantries. There were food pantries that were set up for those who need food.
Yeah,
so here's another, these are just facts to further support that EBT, food stamps, SNAP, whatever we want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is a biblical principle. Anybody that's totally against welfare, that is totally against EBT, I think they are totally against the Bible, because that concept comes from the Bible. Charity comes from the Bible.
That's right.
And I know Republicans like to say, less government. But to a certain degree, we need the government. To a certain degree, every nation needs the government at some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to the nation of Israel in the Bible, even the sites, Tel Arad, it was a temple in Tel Arad in the southern part of Israel. They discovered that there were food pantries. There were food pantries that were set up for those who need food.
Yeah,
so here's another, these are just facts to further support that EBT, food stamps, SNAP, whatever we want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is a biblical principle. Anybody? Facts. Family. We see in scriptures and in history that EBT is a biblical concept. We looked at the scriptures. We looked at the Torah. We looked at the Torah. We looked at the laws from the Chumash, which refers to the first 5 books. We looked at the quote unquote 613 laws. I say quote unquote because we don't know for certain how many laws that were given to Moshe by Yehovah. We don't know how many laws. We say it's 613, but I don't know for certain the laws that Yehovah gave to Moshe Rabbeinu. However, if we're going to just say 613, the laws that we read today were from the quote unquote 613 laws. And these laws are included in the nation of Israel. You got to remember, the Torah, the 613 laws are our constitution. That's right. The Torah, the 613 laws, quote unquote, is our constitution. It's our culture and it's our constitution. It's our way of life. We see in the law, in the Torah, that EBT is a biblical concept. We see in the Torah, in the law, that EBT is a biblical concept. We also see in history the temple that's in Tel Arad. Tel Arad is in southern Israel. It's in the land of Judah, of Yehuda. And when you look at that site, which exists today, shout out to my brother, Stephen Graham. He did an excellent documentary on Tel Arad. And he brought out that knowledge. Let me go big screen. He brought out that knowledge in his documentary. Check out his documentary on Tel Arad. Stephen Graham, the great Stephen Graham, he is known for his documentaries because he is a journalist. I learned a lot from my brother Stephen Graham. I even had the honor to interview him on this platform. And I speak to him offline. Shout out to our brother Stephen Graham, who lives in London, the UK. He brought out in that documentary that Tel Arad, the temple, had food pantries that were set up to provide food for those who need it. So we see through the scriptures and through history that EBT is a biblical concept. For kicks and giggles, let's go ahead and check out some of these comments. I gotta say, shalom, shalom to Ema Bithia. Shalom. Thank you for joining us, Ema Bithia. My guess, I'm gonna take a guess. You're probably joining us from work tonight. I got you on the night shift tonight, Ema Bithia. I'm very curious to hear your position on EBT. What you think, Ema? What you think? Is EBT biblical? Open panel debate. I guess nobody want no smoke tonight. That's cool, because they gave me some smoke for this video right here. I got the smoke for this video. Let's go ahead and read some of these bumbleclock comments for kicks and giggles. Right here, 15. This person, let's see if y'all can see that. Let me go ahead and move myself. There we go. There we go. That's good. Okay. It says, this person right here, no picture. Interesting. But if they quote 1 Timothy 5:8, but if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Oh, okay. They recently added this one day ago. That's why I didn't respond to this bumbleclot. I'm going to go ahead and reply right here. Live. Non sequitur. That's a non sequitur. You guys are watching me live and in action. Reply to this bumaclock comment. That's a non sequitur. That's not what we're talking about. You're bringing up an argument that we're not arguing over. You're bringing up a statement that we're not even speaking about. You're introducing something that is off topic. You have moved the goalpost. That's right. Okay. I read that wrong, EBT. I thought you said go home. I thought you was clowning on them. You said just got home. Oh, okay, my bad. Okay. Because Imabithia, you keep it all the way 100. So I was preemptive. I laughed before I even understood you wasn't even joking. You said just got home. I got you. I jumped the gun. I got excited. You said just got home. Yes, EBT is a good thing. And then this person, they try to move the goalposts. They try to change the subject by saying this crap. But if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. And I'm not dissing the scripture, family. I'm dissing their motive. I'm not dissing the scripture. I'm dissing their motive. So I just want to bring clarity. I'm not dissing the scripture at all. I'm dissing what they're trying to do. I'm dissing them for moving the goalposts. So what's my response? I just responded right now, family, with this comment. Non sequitur. This verse is off topic. You clearly did not watch my video. I'm talking about for those who need it. To a certain degree, the government does have to get involved. To a certain degree. You got to remember, the Torah was our constitution. And it still is our constitution. However, we can't carry out all the laws. But the Torah is a part of the government. The Torah is a part of our government. Our government is ran by the Torah. Shalom, shalom to my brother Uyayim X Tav. Right. See, right there. Right up. That's what's up. Absolutely. Charity is always a good thing, but we should caution on being dependent on the government. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I love the objectivity. But this person right here, they attempted to move the goalposts and change the conversation. So that's why I had to give them some edification. And then they said charity is by giving either financial help or giving food and essentials to organizations to help the needy. The government should not be the provider. Okay, I'm definitely gonna clap back. Well, I already did, but I'm gonna read my comment. Let me know what you think, family. Be as honest as you can. I responded back. I said, the Torah functioned as the constitution for the Israelites. It includes governmental, civil, social, and even ritual laws. Torah ensures justice, order, and provision for the needy. This person is clearly not familiar with the Torah. No picture. Notice the no picture. This person actually has a picture. I got to give credit where it's due. They say, God wants us to help each other, but he does not want us to enable each other. I responded back, non sequitur. I say non sequitur. You're moving the goalpost. You're changing the conversation. That's not what I said in the video. This person right here, basically no photo. I don't know what that is. Is that like a moon or something? Some moonlight? What is that? A marble? What the hell is that? That's not a human face. Oh, what about the part that says? Oh, what about the part that says? He who does not work shall not eat. You forgot that part. How convenient. Now they want to read the Bible? Oh, he put me in the they part, so I'm a they. I'm a they, okay. My response, did all orphans work? You're trying to quote 2 Thessalonians 3:10. That's not a Torah law from the words of Yah. That's a verse from the letter of Paul. I repeat again, did all orphans work? For those who want to misquote, he who does not work shall not eat. So my response, did all orphans work? You're trying to quote 2 Thessalonians 3:10. That's not a Torah law from the words of Yah. That's a verse from a letter of Paul. And then this person says, this no face right here, this no name says, it says you're only supposed to help orphans and widows, and that's it. And I responded, that's incorrect. As we truly went through the scriptures, that's incorrect. You're supposed to help those who are in need. You're supposed to help the stranger. Also, the Levite, because they don't have an inheritance. And the needy. So this person, you mean to tell me you're not supposed to help the disabled? If this person is right, it says you're only supposed to help the orphans and widows, and that's it. If we were to take that jargon for face value, my question, what about the disabled? So he's partially right, but on the grand scheme of things, I just wanted to say that that's incorrect. And then they try to get tough. Watch No Name try to get tough. He says, prove it. And I said, join my live panel this Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and you will get that proof. I'm looking in the chat right now. I don't see this No Name. I don't see No Name. Where you at, No Name? I don't see you. You did not show up. That's right. The widows. That's right. The widows and those who are in need, as the scripture said. That's right. That's right, Imabithia. Thank you, family, for entertaining that. I'm truly entertained by this. I find this fun and interesting. Let me go ahead and play that video one more time for those who just came in. And that way you guys can see the proof that they took my words out of context. They try to move the goalposts. Let me go ahead and play the video again. Right here, family. That's totally against welfare, that is totally against EBT. Anybody that's totally against welfare, that is totally against EBT, I think they are totally against the Bible, because that concept comes from the Bible. Charity comes from the Bible.
That's right.
And I know Republicans like to say, no, less government. But to a certain degree, we need the government. To a certain degree, every nation needs the government at some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to the nation of Israel in the Bible, even the sites, Tel Arad, it was a temple in Tel Arad in the southern part of Israel. They discovered that there were food pantries
There were food pantries that were set up for those who need food.
Yeah.
So here's another, these are just facts to further support that EBT, food stamps, SNAP, whatever we want to call it, right?
Mhm.
Is a biblical principle. Anybody that's totally against welfare, that is
All right, family. Thank you for entertaining that. Thank you for listening to my spiel, my viewpoint on EBT. Yes, I'm aware there's people that are taking advantage of it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the idea, the concept of EBT in general. To me, it's a biblical concept. We went over the scriptures, family, from the Torah, from the law. And we also went over the last scripture in Proverbs 19, where it says, He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto Yahweh, and that which he has given will he pay him again. So we read the laws in the Torah, and we also read from the Ketuvim, from the writings of Proverbs 19. So Elder Byron, if you'd like to come on the panel, let me go ahead and put the link back on screen. I spoke with Elder Byron. I spoke with Elder Byron last night. Showing the panel here. And whoever else would like to come on, family, you can come on. We can talk about it. Hey, if you like to ask modification to what I brought out, that'd be great. If you'd like to give an opposing view, that'd be great as well. I'm curious to hear what you think about this situation. What you think about this topic is situation. We think about this topic, is EBT biblical? My position is it is biblical. And my heart goes out to those who need it and have not received their re-up on their EBT benefits. We read an article that check within your state, because every state, they may be handling EBT differently. Your funds may have not been renewed this November. They may have not been renewed, but for those who have EBT and those funds were not renewed and you need it, my heart goes out to you. Because many of those who need it are mothers with children, grandmothers with children, and many other people on EBT are our people. Now, by pure numbers, there's actually more Caucasian people on EBT than there is our people. However, my heart goes out to everybody who needs it. That's what it's set up for. It's set up for those who need it. The laws of gleaning in the Torah are set up for those who need it. The laws of tithing every 3 years comes from the Torah. And that tithe every 3 years goes to those who need it. And in addition, for those who are in hard times, we must look out for our brother. Now, I get it. Most people situation, especially if you got cash benefits, you might have to pay some of that cash back. I don't know. I'm not on EBT, family. And I'm just saying this with humility, but honestly, I don't know exactly what it's like now. I don't know. So, but I'm just drawing out the biblical principle that giving to the poor is a biblical principle. We went over Leviticus 25:35. Your brother that's in need, the poor that's in need, you must give them what they need. Deuteronomy 24:19-21 talks about leaving behind extra for the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. And Proverbs 19:17, he that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto Yahweh. Also, I like to mention too, I forgot to mention this, family. Salika, Salakia, I apologize. But today is November 11th. I'd like to say Happy Veterans Day. Salute to everybody who served in the military. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. I got you, Elder Byron. I have to say this. Happy Veterans Day. I apologize, family. Shout out to everybody who served in the military. We have to honor those who served, those who put their life on the line, those who died. Our people and all people who served for this country, who served. Now, I know we're Israelites. I know this is not our homeland. I understand that. However, we live here. I live here. And it's not as bad as you think here. When you really think about all the advantages we have here in America, man, captivity is real cushy. I'll tell you that. Captivity is real cushy. But I like to thank everybody. Happy Veterans Day. Also got to say this too. Today, family, I don't know. I like to share this. In 1831, Nat Turner was executed for leading a slave revolt. Today, he was executed. I thought I mentioned that. You know, Nat Turner is somebody we must know about. We must know about Nat Turner. Now, I'm not going to get into the I'm not going to get into full detail, but I like to at least acknowledge Nat Turner and however you feel about it, family. You know, if you like to speak on it, you definitely can. But I like to just at least point that out, at least bring that up, family, for sure. All right. So I got you, Elder Byron. Shalom to Elder.
Shalom, brother.
Zakane. Byron, how you doing, King?
I'm doing all right. How you doing? How you doing?
Uh-oh. I don't know if there's an issue with your sound. Zakane? Okay, I know you muted your mic now. Whenever you're ready.
Can you
on the panel?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
But I see the sound. I see the sound waves, but I don't hear nothing on my behalf.
Okay. Me neither. Well, I can hear you.
I still can't hear you. Let me see. Do I have you on mute? No, I don't. Oh, you said we can hear him? Okay, you can hear him. So there's something on my behalf. Okay. Okay, we got a couple witnesses. I will come back. Okay, he's gonna come back. Maybe it's a glitch. It's got to be on my behalf. Then everybody heard him, but I can't hear him. Let's see. He's gonna come back. I'm looking at some of these comments. Yeah, I ain't got no farm and I ain't got no garden. But there's farms out here in Stockton. And there's gardens. Stockton is very agricultural. Yep. 12 CJC mentioned EBT leaving soon, UBI on the way in the near future. I see our brother Elder Byron. Shalom, shalom, Sue, Zakane, Byron. How you doing, King?
I'm all right. How you doing, brother? Shalom. Can you hear me? I can't hear you now.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm muted. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. Type one if you hear Elder Byron. Yeah, Ema says we can hear him. Okay. Thank you, Ema. Thank you for that. You probably can hear me now. You can't hear me? Ema Bithia? Wow. What's going on here?
I can hear you.
Can't hear me.
Can you hear me?
Let me see. Let me play some sound. Let's see if there's an issue with my headphones. I might have an issue with my headphones. Or I might have to do it old school. I might have to just play something from the yeah, I think it's from my headphones. It's from my headphones. Yes, it's from my headphones. Let me see. Let me adjust my headphones. I don't know what happened to my headphones. I think it just went out. Phones. I don't know what happened to the sound. Elder Byron, are you there?
I'm still here. Can't hear you now. Yes, I can hear you. Well, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Try now.
Now I can hear
Say
you.
something. No. Oh.
I can hear you, Jaden.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I apologize, fam. Let's see. See what's going on. Try this again. Let's see. Okay, so that's not working. Let's see. Let's go sound. Let's see. Sound right here. Test
I can
speaker.
hear you, Jaden. Can y'all hear me?
Output. I'm gonna try for my desktop. Let's see, Elder Byron, are you there? I'm just trying to see if I can hear you.
Yes, I am. Yes.
All right, cool. Excellent, excellent. Okay, you know what? Let me try this. Let me try. You know what? We're gonna do it like this. We'll just I'll just mute my mic after speaking. I mean, that's usually what I do anyway. I usually mute my mic. So yeah, we'll just go ahead. But thank you, family. I apologize for the delay. Thank you for being patient with us. But yes, thank you, Elder Byron, for joining us tonight. How's your evening going?
Everything going good. How's your evening going?
Oh, it's going better now that I got that out my system.
Okay.
Sharing those scriptures on those who hate the idea of EBT. Now, if you ask me, EBT, it's a biblical concept. Now, it's a modern concept. I mean, they didn't have EBT back in the time of our ancestors, obviously, but just the way how I look at it, I see that the principles derive from Torah law. So that's my position on it. But what's your position on it, Zakim?
Well, I agree with you in a lot of what you said. And what we have to remember as Yasharel is that one day we're going to be in that position to where we're going to have to make sure that the people in the kingdom are fed, make sure that the people in the kingdom have housing, and make sure that the people in the kingdom are clothed. The same thing that the government is supposed to be doing for the people today are the things that we're going to be doing in the land as the kings and the queens in the land. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, what kind of kingdom will we have? What kind of king will you be in the kingdom? The way you can tell what kind of king that you'll be in the kingdom is the way that you practice today. Do you practice giving? Do you practice compassion? Do you practice understanding and love? Are those the things that you practice? Because if you don't practice it here, then how will it be perfected in the kingdom? So what you were saying, it is a biblical concept. Actually, what you were saying is what I was thinking, was what I was going to share with you later on tonight or tomorrow for Friday. I just needed confirmation, and you gave me the confirmation as to that's what I'm going to go ahead and share with you. You can go ahead.
Awesome. I think what you said was great because you agree with me. Okay, that's not why. I think we just happen to agree. It's cool that we do. I'm just playing. You know, I don't get down like that. You know, I don't believe that everybody has to think just like me. I hope that we think for ourselves, and you know, we arrive to our conclusions based on our own research, our thorough research, and yeah, I'd just like to say again, my heart goes out to those who need the EBT, who need EBT, and their benefits have not been renewed. And you know, family, so we have to be aware of that not everybody has it. You know, not everybody has it like that. You know, there's a lot of people here that are struggling, and with the whole government shutdown, my heart goes out to those who had lost their job, who are laid off, and it's had a major impact, in our country, not just for our people Israelites, but throughout our people generally speaking. And there's been stories of people losing, getting evicted, and going hungry, and living with family. And we have to just be aware, family, of what's around us. And not only is it a biblical principle to provide food and assistance to those who need it, to the Israelites, but also to the stranger. And notice throughout the scriptures that I was sharing, it mentioned that term stranger. And that term stranger is not speaking about an Israelite. It's speaking about somebody that is not an Israelite. It's speaking about other nations. So it's a Torah principle to provide for all people who need it. And I'm thankful for EBT. And at the same time, I know there's people out there that, they get over on it, but that doesn't mean that the system itself is an evil system. But I do understand there's people that, they abuse it, but really they're abusing themselves, because when you make a certain amount of money, you can't even apply for EBT. You're not even qualified for EBT, at least here in California. Like, you have to make under a certain amount of money. But if you make above that threshold, then you can't even have access to EBT benefits. But so like, even if like a person is getting the benefits, but really they're getting money under the table, well, why are we getting money under the table? What are we doing? Why are we not reporting our income? Why are we not paying taxes? So that just brings up more questions in my head. Are we, to that person who's taking the food stamps, are you making money legally? Are you doing it the illegal way? So I just wanted to say that, for my scriptures that I brought out, and notice that my focus was on the Torah, on the law. I focused on what the quote unquote 613 laws had to say in regards to giving food and assistance to those who need it. And I arrived to the conclusion that EBT is a Torah principle. It's not against the Torah. Elder Byron?
Oh, okay, I was just wondering. Oh, you were done?
Oh, yes,
What you were saying?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. But when you were talking, something came to me. It was when the father it was the parable of the sheep and the goats. And what separated the sheep and the goat? The sheep gave. They gave to those that were hungry. They gave to those that were naked. And they gave to those that were homeless. The goats, they kept everything for themselves. And they thought that they were going to prosper off of everything that they had for themselves, and it was going to be able to deliver them. So they didn't give to the hungry. They probably told the hungry, if a man don't work, a man don't eat. They didn't give to those that were naked. They didn't give to those that were homeless. The only thing that they ever did was consider themselves. And whereas Israel, we have to remember we came in this together, we have to come out together. And when he called us, he didn't call me Byron. He didn't call you Jaden. He didn't call Hebrew, double T the Hebrew. He called us Yasharel. He called us Israel. He called us his people, his chosen, and his elect. When we go in the land, we can't go in the land with that same heart that we had when we were taken out of the land. That heart of a stiff-necked, stubborn, and rebellious person. The only one that they were considering was themselves. Everything that happened to us in captivity is the same thing that we did to the people in our land. So when the Father says that I will visit your iniquities and I will try you upon your ways, he means it. He does try you upon your ways. But the ways that we were tried upon was our forefathers' ways to the third and fourth generation. So that maybe we could learn how to be a king and queen that is just and righteous. Maybe so we could learn what it means to walk as a prince under our king, which is our God. You see, we call ourselves king and queen, but who started off as a prince or a princess? I have to first learn from the king in order for me to be a king one day. But if I never take the time to learn from the king, then I'll always be a peasant trying to act like a king. And with that, I'll go ahead and give it back to you, brother.
That was powerful. For that, family, you know what time it is. Sound the alarm. That was fire. I appreciate that. And check it. Family, our elder, Zakane in Hebrew is elder. Zakane Byron will be preaching. That's right. Zakane Byron will be preaching December 5th, 2000. 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. I appreciate you, Elder Byron, for the edification that you bring this channel. I look forward to having conversations with you. And even when we don't agree, I always learn. And I appreciate the way how you conduct yourself, your humility. It's proof that the Ruach HaKodesh dwells within you. And that's a sign right there. That's telling right there. When two disagree, how do they act? And the fact that we've had different viewpoints at times, we never jumped out the window. And to me, that's proof that the Ruach dwells within you. And I'm looking forward to hearing you preach on December 5th, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Now, I'd like to speak about that a little bit more offline, if that's okay with you, Zakane. Is that all right?
That would be fine, brother.
Okay, cool. We'll work out some of the details, and I'll be quick too. I'm not going to take up too much of your time because I know you're 2 hours ahead of me out in Baton Rouge. I believe it's 9:16.
Yes.
So, with that said, I will be, conscious of your time. But yeah, I would like to work out some details with you offline. But I'm looking forward to hearing you preach. And we've been getting snippets. We've been getting seeds, candy, samples from you every time you speak. Now check it. I mean that. As a preacher, as a former licensed minister in Christianity, I was licensed in 2011. As a former minister in Christianity, a lot of the time, I know a preacher when I hear one. And immediately, the first time I spoke to you, I thought in my mind, he's a preacher. He's a preacher. He has a preaching background, or this is something that this is a gift of his from the Most High. And you have the gift to preach and to preach the word of Yah. And I'm looking forward to hear what you have to share with us. Yes. Whenever you're ready, Zakane.
Brother Jaden, you were right. I was studying to be a pastor, but I had to give 7 sermons in 7 weeks. So I gave him 3. By the time I came to the 4th sermon, I looked at him and I said, I can't give you something that the Father hasn't told me to give you. And I'm not a Christian. So right there, I walked away. Because when I was teaching Bible study, I heard this right here. What is my name? I was teaching on my people that are called by my name. And I heard, what is my name? And when I heard that, I started seeking his name. But when I started seeking his name, I started to realize that the name that I knew was not his name. His name is not anything physical. His name is spiritual. It's a spirit. That's why he says, in that place where I choose to place my name, in that land where I choose to dwell in that place where I choose to inhabit with my people, that's where I will place my name. I will place my name in the midst of my people. I will place my spirit in their midst, for they shall be called by my name. So if you ever seek the face of our God, then you're going to have to seek the face of the people. You're going to have to seek the face of the land. You're going to have to seek the face of the laws that govern the people in the land so that you can live in the land at peace with the king of the land, because that is the ultimate one that you're seeking. You're seeking his face, because through seeking his face, then you seek peace in where you dwell. And a lot of times we don't seek his face because we think we already know his face because of what we have been taught. But how can I walk into a new life holding on to an old God? How can I walk into a new covering still covered by the filth that I was supposed to leave behind? How can I walk into a new life if I haven't died to the life that I lived before? Every time I call upon the God that I called on when I was in the world, because when you're in Christianity, you're in the world. Every time I call on that God, every time I serve that God, every time I praise that God, every time I give the glory to that God, which is due the glory of the God of Israel, then I can't be called by the name Israel. I have to still be called by the name Christian. So no matter how much I try to fool myself, there's something you can't never fool, is our God. Because when he looks at you, he doesn't look at your flesh. He looks at your heart. And if your heart has anything else written in it, except that I am the Lord thy God that have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, thou shalt not have no other God before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, anything formed or fashioned by man's hands, the likeness of anything in the heaven above, the earth beneath, or the waters beneath the earth. You shall not bow yourself down to them nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the father upon the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing loving kindness to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for he will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath unto the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy ox, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore he blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, so that thy days may be long in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. For the Lord will not hold thee guilty. Remember to keep holy. No, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Those were the words that our forefathers heard. Those were the words that led them to the fear of our God. Because he said, remember that fear. But a lot of us have forgotten that fear because we don't honor nothing but ourselves. We don't honor the words. We don't honor his presence. We don't honor his covering. And until we go back to that, we're going to forever be in this land. We're going to forever be lost because no man can walk the way of righteousness and still be covered in filth. And with that, brother, I'm going to go ahead and yield to you again.
That was powerful. Once again, dropping gems. Family, you getting a sample from C's Candy. Zakane Byron will be preaching December 5th, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. And that is when we have the Shabbat word. The Shabbat word we have every Friday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. I'm looking forward to it because it will be my first Shabbat word that I get to take off. I get to take it off and I get to sit and I get to learn. And I get motivated when I hear other speakers. Like, for example, like when we had Ima Rita D, she preached multiple times. And personally, it helps me. It helps me. It keeps me going. It's like refreshing for me because I always hear myself preaching. And sometimes it's like, sometimes you need to take a step back and listen to other preachers. And it's motivating, it's uplifting, it's edifying, and I have the privilege to sit and to learn from one of our elders this on Friday night, December 5th, 2025. And I got to ask you, Zakane, when you were studying to be a pastor, what was the denomination that you were with at the time?
I was with Southern Baptists.
Wow. Yeah, and Southern Baptists, they're known for having a lot of Caucasians in their congregation. No, not at all. I remember, I keep it a buck with you. I remember I went to one church in Stockton on the south side, which our community lives on the south side. A lot of black folks live on the south side of Stockton. So it's in a black neighborhood. And the church, it was a Southern Baptist. It was a Southern Baptist church, but it was a black Southern Baptist church. So, but I've noticed that with Southern Baptists. I know there's a lot of Caucasians in Southern Baptists. But can you tell us a little bit about just your ministry background?
Well, I was raised Roman Catholic. My father and my mother were Catholic. Well, just about everybody in both sides of my family are Catholic. But when I was 18 and I left home, I didn't return to the Catholic faith. As a matter of fact, I didn't return to really going to church until about 15 years ago. And when I started going back to church, it was non-denominational. And to be honest with you, going there, I learned a lot. I learned a lot and I saw a lot. And it was the Father just showing me how churches work. I remember I was head of security. Within the first year I was there, I moved into ministerial position. I was head of security. And I was escorting the pastor back to his office. And I heard these words, and these words were the Father told me. He said, "Be pleasing to me, not to a man. For the things that's pleasing to me should be pleasing to the man of God if he's mine. So always be pleasing to me." So I've never tried to please a man. I've always tried to please my God. Because if I'm pleasing to my God, then I should be pleasing to those that are attached to my God. And so from there, I went to the Southern Baptist Church. And while being there, I was moved into a pastoral position. But there was one thing that always bothered me with Christianity. One thing. When I was a Catholic, I served Jesus and the cross was there. When I went to non-denominational, I served Jesus and the cross was there. When I went to Southern Baptist, I served Jesus and the cross was there. And all of them have a problem with one another. But all of them have one thing in common: Jesus and the cross. So you will always have a problem where there's confusion. You're going to always have a problem where there's a lie. You're going to always have a problem where there's darkness on every side, but no light in the midst. So right then and there, I kind of started understanding that I had to seek his face for myself, because the face that I had been taught about was a lie. The words that I live under was a lie. The life that I thought was righteous was a lie. And so when you start to wake up, you start to question everything. So much so until at one point in time, you might think you're going crazy because it goes against everything in you. But just when you start to go crazy, that's when you start to hear that quiet, still voice. That quiet, still voice that tells you, "Here I am. Read my word. Study my word. Live in my word. For if you live in my word, then my word will live in you." And when you start to live in his word, that's when you start to see all the deception behind religion, behind Christianity. To me, the synagogue of Satan, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. The three Abrahamic faith that people say gonna lead them to where? You see, my soul doesn't yearn to go up into the sky. My soul yearns to go back to that heaven, which is called Israel. Back to that land of my forefathers. Back to that place where my God said that he would dwell with me and he will be my God there forever. That's what my soul yearns for. But as for Christianity and these other religions, they yearn for a place that's a lie. So when I started looking into religion and I looked at Christianity, well, Catholicism, Southern Baptist, Methodist, all of them, they're basically the same. The only thing is that they have hidden themselves within a lie. So with that, I'll go ahead and let you talk, brother.
Fire, straight fire. You know what? We are at the 2-hour mark. I think what we're going to do right now, we're just going to go ahead and close out. We already addressed the topic at hand today. The topic is EBT biblical? Open panel. We've already addressed that. And I think we're just going to go ahead and close out. So go ahead, Elder Byron, go ahead and give your closing. But after you give your closing, go ahead and stay on the live stream, and we'll go ahead and talk offline. How's that sound?
That sounds good, brother. Well, in closing, the only thing I tell people is to empty yourself. Empty yourself of everything that you think you know. Because how can the Father pour into you if you already have something in you? So empty yourself and allow him to come and clean that vessel with his water, with his blood, and then ask for the word to come and cover you so that you'll walk in him, so that you'll talk in him, so that you will live in him, and everything that you do will give him glory. So my prayer will be that you cleanse yourself and that you let go of this life of the world. And with that, I'll close, brother.
All praises, all glory, all kavod to Yahuwah. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat. I'd like to thank everybody listening online. Let's continue to love Yahuwah, our Elohim, with all of our heart, all of our soul, and with all of our might. That's Zakane, Byron. I'm Jaden Israel. Until next time, shalom, fam. Now stay on the live. Stay on the live, Byron. I got you. We're going to continue our conversation off air. Shalom, fam.